Master Center. I want to demonstrate to you today the multiple uses for our advanced custom support product that we're now selling to Advanced Equine. This product has been extremely helpful for me for many, many problems, and I want to demonstrate the ease of use and the proper use of the product, so hopefully you will have the same luck as I've had with it. The first demonstration concerns use of the Redden Modified Ultimate. I've redesigned my Ultimate wedge system so that you have several different properties. We're enhancing the breakover by bringing the breakover under the apex of P3. The opening in the front of the shoe allows the toe of the foot to slide through the cuff to accommodate the long toe horse without having to back him up. You'll notice also on the ground surface we have radius to medial lateral breakover to decrease or enhance breakover ease. This shoe has become a very helpful shoe in maintaining my laminated cases. I use it also for cases prophylactically who have had very severe trauma, fractures, infection, puncture wounds, and so forth to the opposite limb as a preventive shoe. You notice I only have 2 wedges with this particular application now instead of the 3. And I found by using the 2 and pulling the breakover back, which has been suggested by my good friend Gene Overnick, that I do not have to use the 3 wedges, and it preserves the depth of the heel. What I'm going to do is demonstrate using the advanced support product in the bottom as an arch support to give arch to the structure of the heel and the sulci of the frog. This way I have frog pressure as well as good uniform flexible pressure against the bars in this fashion. It's very important with laminated cases to take scalp films or baseline radiographs at the very first visit. Many horses will often have small degree of rotation and sometimes even thickening of the lamina, unbeknown to everyone. It's great to know that at the very first exam. This particular Ultimate is designed as a preventive maintenance shoe and becomes less effective with increased displacement. So it's very important to use this shoe early in the syndrome. I always like to back the heels up to the widest point of the frog, and if there is rotation present, you must do that from the point of the frog back in order to derotate. If you do not derotate, the shoe has lost over 50% of its effectiveness. So I'll show you how I just back this heel up. As you can see, I'm only removing heel from the point of the frog back. This is extremely important in the mechanics of shoeing laminitic animals, even those in the chronic stage of the syndrome. As you notice, I've only rasped from the point of the frog back. This particular animal did have laminitis a year ago and penetrated in both feet. As you can see, he still has some old residual scar, but he has a nice good cup and a reasonably sound foot. The Redden Ultimate can be put on in several different manners. I've designed this particular application so it can be fitted to the foot very closely, so it can be either bandaged on, which works in many, many cases, or it can be glued on. The first application, I'll show you how I properly bandage it on. I'll just slip it on the foot, push it back, making sure I've got a heel back to the bulbs, make sure I've got a good fit. Once I've done that, then I bandage the pastern. I use quite a bit of bandage, but I want to secure a nice bandage around the bulbs of the heel and over the corner of your band. If your Ultimate fits very sloppy and you don't want to take the time to make it fit more closely, then just use more cotton and come down over the foot further. The purpose for this is so that I can bandage the Ultimate accent to the bandage that I'm applying now. So I look at the foot, I see about how much volume I'm going to have. The putty comes in 2 parts. You want to mix them evenly. A very calculated measuring job here. I've got roughly 2 parts, same size, it's going to be plenty. Actually, it's going to be a little bit too much for this particular application, but I want to fill in this area as well as the sulci of the frog. I prefer to keep this product in the refrigerator at all times because it makes a very consistent mixing composite. It is heat dependent. In warm weather, this large amount of putty would actually set up in less than a minute, making it very difficult to apply. As you can see, I'm just kneading it, twisting it as quickly as possible, ready to put it on at any time. It's very important that you keep this product cool, particularly in warm weather, and keep it slightly warm in very cold weather in order to speed the setup time. The product does not get hot. It does not develop heat in any fashion to where it would be detrimental to the foot. Be sure to mix it very uniformly. As you can see, there's a few small areas that are still white. Just keep twisting and mixing. If it starts to feel dry to you, you better get it on the foot because it's beginning to set up. So I will place it over the back of the frog like this. I do not want anything anterior to the point of the frog, but I want it to fill out the rest of the ultimate. I let the excess go out the back. I slip that on, push a little forward to make sure I've got plenty of contact. Anything that's left over, you just pinch off, press that down, set them down just easy like. You see how it balls out the back, then I'll press it back in again so it's nice and full. If you let them put full weight on it, an awful lot of it will go out the back door. Now I use 4-inch elasticon. I come over the toe, and I do a figure 8. Putting the ultimates on in this fashion, they can wear them for 2 to 3 weeks, and there's no problem whatsoever with them coming off. Anything that I've used other than the elasticon will have a failure rate of about 50%, particularly duct tape and the cheaper tape. But put on in this fashion, you'll have no problem whatsoever keeping these on. It is very important, once a horse goes in the ultimate, that he does not get them off during the middle of the night and engage the deep flexor tendon because it can be very detrimental to the lamina. So that's basically the bandage technique. I am preserving the circulation at the corner band with the cotton. I'm using the cotton base as a backup to actually secure my elasticon. Application number 2 for the Redden Modified Ultimate. We can glue this on provided the cuff is set on the wedges to fit the foot perfectly. They come screwed on, so you can take it off, fit it larger, fit it smaller. If you wish to glue it on, you need to do it early in the syndrome so you're not dealing with chronic cases for several reasons. You do not want glue to cover areas such as this because you can get some serious abscesses just due to closing up the airspace and having anaerobes to grow beneath the glue. So it's also important to be coordinated and ready to go because you must mix the glue about the same time you're mixing the putty because they're going to go off at about the same time. So what I normally do is, get your hands over here, is I just start my glue a little bit before the putty, particularly if it's cool. If it's hot weather, you start them both about the same time, and have someone else to mix the putty while I'm mixing the glue. It makes it a little difficult for one person to mix both at the same time and get it in the foot with the timing just right. Now you can see the putty is coming together about the right time. The glue is ready to put in. So I put the glue in the cuff, making sure we've got a good contact. These horses need to be sedated a little bit because they need to stand very still for about 10 minutes once the glue is put in. Now I simply take the putty, place it over the back of the heel just as I did a while ago, making sure it goes out over the edges some. Make sure it does not go forward. Slide it on. Pull it down with your heel, with your hand. Let the excess go out the back. Fill in any gaps so that you don't have any spot for debris. And you take your tape, go along the front. Keeps the glue from running out the front of the cuff. You can go over it a time or two, make a couple of figure eights. Using the glue helps you as a management tool. You do not have to worry about bandaging. This will stay on for 6 weeks. You can take all your rated grouse with the cuff on. Realizing these horses are not ready to be turned out. They can be turned out in these, but I do not recommend turnout exercise with any laminated animal, particularly in the acute stages. It takes about 5 minutes for the glue to set. You just set the horse down, let him stand there very comfortably, do the other foot. If you have a laminated animal that's very painful in one foot more so than the other, do that one first. Give about 5 minutes to let them become comfortable in the wedge, then do the other one. It makes it much, much easier. And you don't have to hold them up, but just for a few seconds. The advantage of using the Redden Modified Ultimate is so that you can reduce deep flexor pull quickly in a very economical fashion with very, very little trauma to the animal. When using this product out of the refrigerator, it takes a bit longer for it to set up. Once you put it in the foot and you want to really quickly make it set, simply put a little heat to it. I'm using a paint stripper gun here. Be careful not to burn the bulb of the heel. I try to keep my hands very close to the gun. That way I know how much heat's going to the foot. And you can see it's becoming very, very firm quite quickly just from the heat of that gun. I like to use the gun regularly because it allows me to work the product slowly but then set it up very quickly. I'm going to remove this particular application before the glue sets up. As you see, the sulci are molded to meet the configuration of this particular horse. It's the surface area that I've created over this support system that allows this product to be extremely valuable. I have distributed load over a large surface area, and it's very, very flexible. This is as stiff as this product becomes. You see, a little of this product is migrated forward. That does not cause a problem as long as there's not a lot of pressure over that area. To be certain that you do not get any problem, when you take these things on, I can come right back with a knife. I can trim that out. I can put a softer product in. I can put gauze in. I can put medication through the toe, whatever I like. I'll simply take this out, and that's what your product looks like in approximately 1 minute. As you can see, it's very flexible. It's this flexible action in distributing load over a large surface area that makes this product extremely valuable for many, many problems.